The Wangs HD-30 is a budget all-tube SLO style amplifier. What does it sound like? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. It's not even plugged in yet. Hey there, I'm Dan, the self-proclaimed Lonely Rocker. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Wangs HD-30. If you're not familiar with Wangs, this is an import Chinese brand, but what it is not is a mass-produced, low-quality amplifier. Wangs is a boutique brand, I believe in the north of China, that was originally formed to service the local community, but word got out that their quality was really good. They make some pretty good amplifiers. It's a small team. These are hand-built amplifiers, and they use really high-quality parts. I actually featured their VT15. It's here behind me. That's their JCM 800 style circuit, this being their SLO style circuit. Now, before I get into anything here, I don't have a Soldano here to compare, but I do have a Fractal FM9, and I've seen comparisons with that and the real amplifier. It's regarded as a really good model of the SLO 100. So just to see if this thing is in the spectrum, let's start right there and do a quick comparison. This was reamped direct to the Red 7 Amp Central Evo, and the FM9 version, same riff, reamped through that. And I'm using the same cab IR. It's a 412 oversized Mesa with a virtual SM57. And let's do a quick A/B just to see if this Wangs amplifier is indeed in the SLO spectrum. Well, that sounded pretty good to me. We're definitely in that SLO spectrum. So if you're looking to get Soldano style tones and you don't have the budget for a real one, well, I think this is a good place to start. All right, we're going to look at all the corners of this amplifier. So the setup today, I've got my ESP LTD Phoenix 1000. I do want to mention that I am using Stringjoy strings. They are not sponsoring this video. They have supplied me though with a bunch of strings. One pack of strings does not a sponsorship make, but they have been very gracious to supply my studio with all sorts of strings. I've got their 10 to 46s on here, and considering this first track, I'm tuning down to drop C sharp using a 10 to 46 set. Between this guitar and those strings, stayed in tune and sounded great, as you will hear in a second. So we are going into the Wangs HD-30, running into the Angle 4x12 double XL. Now I'm miking that with two Sennheiser microphones. I've got the E906 and the 421 compact. I'm gonna mix those in the mix, but I'm gonna let you hear those individually. And so you can get a sense of what it sounds like here in the room. I've got a stereo pair of MKH 8020s in the back of the room. So you're gonna hear the mix, and then we're gonna cycle through all the different microphones just to get a feel for what this amp sounds like. Let's check it out. All right, that sounded really good to me. Now, this amplifier is a bit of a wildcat. Now, we're going to get into the details of the amplifier because we do have 3 channels here and some different functions here. But first, what I want to do is sort of break down what you heard in that mix. I want you to hear the different microphones through the Angle 4x12 double XL cabinet. I should mention they are Celestion V30s in here. And then the MKH 8020s in the back of the room, so you can get a kind of a feel of what this amp sounds like in the room. You might want to pop on headphones for that segment, just get a little taste of the power coming out of this amplifier. So let's check those out. Now, just hearing these two microphones in isolation on this cabinet, you can see kind of a range of tones that you can get out of this amplifier. That applies to all amplifiers, of course. Speaker choice is critical. Microphone placement is critical. Now, if you're recording direct with a load box and you're using cab IRs, the same rule is going to apply, because I will say that this amp is a wildcat. I mean, that dirty channel or the high gain channel is angry, and I absolutely love it, but you need to tame it sometimes, and you can do that again with your speaker choice, your cab IR choice. In this case, I'm using my cabinet. My mic placement is kind of standardized, but again, playing with the blend there with the top end and the bottom end, it's a lot of fun, I think, finding tones. I mean, for me, that's why I've started using a cabinet more often now, because it's a lot of fun. But I will say that this amp is angry if you let it. So anyways, I want to give you another example, because there is a great clean channel on this amplifier. I'm going to let you hear some more of that a little bit later, but I let it loose a little bit more in this track. Some of it, again, is recorded through the angle, and a couple of the tones are actually recorded direct through the Red 7 amp Central Evo. So let's check that out. Wow, I think that sounded really good. I don't know what made this thing so angry, but I can say, at least here in my collection, it is very unique. The type of tones that I'm going to get out of this, very, very different than anything else that I have here. It's definitely its own thing. Now, there is quite a range on here. It's not just angry. There's a beautiful clean channel, and that crunch channel is really great. So why don't I take you through the features of the amplifier, what's offered here, what do we got inside, and at the same time, I'm going to let you hear these channels in isolation, just again to give you a feel what this amp has to offer. The HD-30H is handmade in the Wangs factory in northern China. Based on an SLO circuit, this amp has 5 12AX7 preamp tubes and 2 6L6 power tubes inside an all-birch enclosure. It is a 3-channel amp with clean and crunch sharing the normal channel and high gain on the drive channel. The normal and drive channels have independent gain and master controls and share the treble, middle, bass, and presence. The bright switch affects the normal channel only. Around back, you have 3 speaker outputs at 4, 8, and 16 ohms and a buffered effects loop with a blend knob. I can't tell you how much I appreciate a blend knob. This is often overlooked on other amps. Let's check out some tone examples. Also worth noting is that Wangs amps are made with high quality parts from the US, Europe, and Japan. They use extra thick, aeronautical grade 100% fiberglass PCBs that are hand soldered. So overall, I am really loving this amplifier. Wangs makes a quality product, and considering how affordable they are, it's an amazing amp to add to your collection. Perhaps you're looking for your first tube amp and you have a little bit of money to spend, but certainly compare this to an American-made amplifier. You're gonna save a lot of money. And it's quite versatile. I love tube amps that are versatile. I mean, we are in the digital age where you can have a modeler with 200-300 amplifiers on it. Certainly can't beat that, but it's nice having an amplifier that does offer a range of tones. You've got 3 distinct channels on this amplifier. I mean, that really angry high gain channel, which you can rein in a little bit. You got a really amazing crunch channel, and the clean channel gives you a lot here in one amplifier. And Wangs does make a quality product. This is the second amp that I have here from Wangs. I love the fact that it's made to order. You can choose your color, and I think it paired nicely with the other red VT15 there. So, but overall, really impressed with the build quality of these amplifiers. And I think dollar to quality here, you're gonna have a hard time matching this with other brands. So definitely worth checking out. I'm gonna put a link in the description. You can check them out. I know their prices do include shipping, but I don't know where you are in the world. So definitely reach out to them and ask them if you are interested in this amp or any of the other ones that they offer. And like I said, this is the second one that I've got from them, and the quality has been consistent so far. That's my experience with at least 2 of their amplifiers. So anyways, if you want to check that out, that's going to be in the description. Now, if you have any thoughts, any questions at all, that's what the comment section is for. And while you're down there, well, I mentioned the VT15. I want you to check it out. I've got that waiting here if you want to see what that's all about. And remember, you don't need a band to rock and roll. I'll catch you in the next one.